Hello, welcome to Furry Friend Zone, your cat and dog destination. In this video, I'm going to give you the top 5 visible signs that you're feeding your dog crap dog food. So, if you're interested to hear what they are, keep watching. So I've been working at a pet store now for a number of years, and a lot of people will come in asking about dog food and say, oh, well, my dog is experiencing this, so what should I do? And generally, my first thing I say is, what are you feeding your dog? Because there are a lot of visible signs to indicate that you should be looking to move to a higher quality food because that's impacting your dog. So I thought that this would be a great video because I'm gonna go through my top 5 that I see the most, so that if your dog has any of these, then that might be something for you to consider, then maybe it's their diet. So, in no particular order, number 1 is chronic ear infections. So sometimes they are seasonal, but if your dog is chronically having an ear infection, you treat it, it goes away, then it comes back, and it's continuous, and your dog is always scratching at their ears, and you can visibly tell that they're uncomfortable and they have a lot of buildup. Some it is breeds that, like, certain breeds are more prone to them, but a lot of the time it's important to check the food because that could be playing an impact in the chronic ear infections. Number 2 is runny eyes. So you'll see with certain breeds of dogs, especially like lighter dogs, they can get staining in their eyes, and a lot of customers will be like, oh no, it's just the breed, they get that. And sometimes it can be, but a lot of the time it's related to the food that they're eating, which can have a huge impact. So I have seen dogs that have been on a certain type of food. We changed their food. They come in a month or two later and it is significantly improved. There's not the staining, there's not the runny, drippy eyes. So if your dog has that, please consider looking at the ingredients in your food because that could be impacting that. Number 3 is constantly licking their paws. So if your dog is always nipping or biting at their paws, licking it, and then it will start to actually stain the paw depending on the color of the coat. If it's a lighter coat, you'll see it'll kind of go like a brownish color. And if they're licking the pads of their feet, that means that there's something. It could be an allergy. Sometimes it's seasonal, but most commonly it's an allergy in the food. And a very common allergy that dogs react to is chicken. So if your food has chicken in it, that could be something that maybe you want to switch to a different protein. And on that note, you do need to be very careful. You could be reading the first few ingredients of a food and be like, oh, there's no chicken in that. But then halfway down the ingredient panel, you'll see chicken meal or chicken byproduct or something. And it could be marketed as just like a lamb only, but then it does have chicken in it. So you need to be very careful and you need to check that because you could be like, oh, I've switched their food, but that could be playing into it as well. So if your dog is licking their paws chronically, I would definitely check the food. Number 4 is your dog's coat. So I'll see a lot of dogs come in and they'll have really like dull looking coats. If your dog has a lot of dandruff, if it's shedding a lot, like I know dogs shed seasonally, but if you see like an abnormal amount, those all play into their diet. So if they have a diet where they're not getting the proper nutrients from the food, then you're gonna see that in their coat. And you can do added things, like salmon oil and herring oil that do help, but the food plays a big factor in that. Another thing to note with the coat could be that you could start to see like red bumps or rashes in the stomach, and they're itching a lot. So if they're constantly itching, and you can just tell, like if they go on the grass and they're rolling in the grass because they just like need to release the itch, or they're rubbing up against you or rubbing up against the couch, that clearly means that they're a bit uncomfortable. And the 2 most common things that are associated to allergies in a dog and in the dog food is generally chicken and rice. So you can start, if you notice those side effects of your dog food, you could try switching to a different protein and maybe trying grain-free. Or if you do want grains in the diet, then you could switch to something like steel-cut oats or a higher quality grain. Number 5, and this is probably the most common one that you'll see, is stool. So if your dog has a very loose, runny stool, that is a clear indicator that they're not absorbing the nutrients in the food and you might need to consider switching. It could also mean that the protein could be too high. They could be reacting to a certain type of protein in the food, so you might need to change the type of protein. So if you go from chicken to fish or fish to lamb, or switching it up to just see how your dog reacts. Another thing too with the loose stool, if you can constantly hear your dog's stomach like gurgling, making sounds, and they're farting a lot, then that's all signs that the food is playing a factor and might indicate that you need to look at switching.
Before the video ends, I just wanted to make a quick disclaimer that if your dog is experiencing any of the signs or symptoms discussed in this video, that it is always best to consult your vet for more information to ensure that these signs are not related to any underlying issues that your dog may be experiencing.
Thank you so much for watching. I know this was a quick video. If anyone has any questions regarding food, if you have a food that you're feeding now and you're having any of these side effects and you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I will gladly help answer any questions you have. I can direct you at different brands or give you more information on the food specifically that you're feeding. I'm happy to help. So I hope that you found this video helpful. Again, any questions, leave them in the comments below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. We make weekly videos, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.